Here today to talk about hyperpigmentation and black spots because that is one of my biggest challenge. And no matter what we do, sometimes you're just like, what in the world? So if you're if you're someone struggling with the hyperpigmentation, one, just want to let you know it's okay. Learning to accept that those are the flaws of sometimes the beauty flaws that we have in our skin is okay, and that it is, it's not the end of the world. Now, I say this, although I used to feel like it's the end of the world. Dark spots is definitely not anything someone wants to deal with. And I know people, sometimes you get up in the morning and you're just like, oh my goodness. I was talking to someone before and they mentioned that like going to bed was sometimes the traumatic part of it all, because then you'll get up the next morning and you'll see like either a breakout and then all of the dark spots that's coming and following after. And so you go to bed and you're just like, okay, but you knew when you woke up, just having to look in the mirror and figure it out. And how many of us have gone into the mirror and it's just like, where are you? Where did you come from? Like, what is what is really going on? And so I struggled with that for a very long time in my life. And I'm really happy that I've broken past that situation now where I understand how dark spots actually come into being. But most of all, I am more excited about the fact that I know now, like when it comes, one, it is not the end of the world. We'll work with it. And then two, what to do so that I can really fix the issue. So if you struggle with dark spots or hyperpigmentation, just drop a yes or no in the comments so we can know, however, how many people are dealing with this. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Thrifting Atlanta. I can't stay waking up with a pimple, like why? It's just painful. It's just like, come on. And unfortunately, the dark spots last longer than the pimple. I mean, we can get rid of the pimple within 7 days, hopefully, if more and more not coming on. But it's the dark spots that will stay for months. And you're just like, oh my goodness. So if you know and been following me on this channel, skincare is a big part of that luxe lifestyle. And on this channel, we talk about a luxe lifestyle on a budget and how we can really, how we should have the opportunity to feel confident in our skin with clear skin. Like, let's be real. No one wants to walk around with something on their face that draws the attention by passerbys or people talking to us, unless it's something amazing, like, oh my God, girl, your skin is glowing, or girl, tell me what you're using. Hey from UK, thank you for joining. Bonjour, thank you, Salima. So what we're talking about just really is hyperpigmentation, especially with people of color, and that's black and brown. We tend to hyperpigmentate because of the pigment, the melanin in our skin. And whenever there's any type of irritation or inflammation, anything like that, our skin tends to leave the dark spots, like the scarlet letter A. And so one of the things that we have to understand is good skincare. And I wish when I was growing up that I understood better skincare and I understood how these things happen. So just knowing, that one, you save a lot of money because then you end up buying products that really are intended to work and you will see those results, and you're not just going off of your emotions when you see a advertisement or an advert, as they would say in UK. And you will understand that the things that they're marketing to us may or may not work based on the ingredients. Now, obviously, how they make those concoction is definitely another part of it. But knowing those ingredients in the back is probably one of the biggest things that I see, is the biggest flaw for people of color who are buying products thinking it's about to help them work. The biggest one I see is, for example, I see it on my Facebook and Instagram reels and stuff like that all the time. It's like turmeric, anything with turmeric is supposed to clear your skin. Now, turmeric is a lightener. It will lighten your skin just because of the properties. I mean, it's high yellow, come on. But turmeric honestly hasn't been well researched to show that it will stop the melanin from popping to the front, which is what's causing the dark spot. If you knew that, you will not spend the amount of money, and I did. Like, I'm telling you all of this because I did. I bought so many turmeric natural paste DIY stuff for those black spots because everyone was like, "Oh, look at my skin, it's clear now." Sometimes what they're showing this person's face didn't even have a pimple or a dark spot before, and then you're showing me a clear skin. Marketing or filters before, and then now after is a new filter. I mean, let's really understand how we're spending our money, because at the end of the day, unless you are a billionaire and you could care less how you spend your money, most of us are like, listen, I work hard for my coins and I don't want to just throw them down the drain. So please, in that, let's try to, in skincare especially, let's try to be educated about what we're spending our money on and what the results we're looking for and whether the thing that they're saying. I've said this many, many times, and I've seen it so many times, especially when I go into beauty stores, of the amount of money that goes into marketing and those packaging. And it's all to get to sucker you into not reading the back of those labels and ingredients. It's all to sucker you into going after just what your heart is looking for. What is the quick fix that you're looking for? And so that you don't start to really understand the full thing. I say this because I have also been there. I have a pimple. I go in and it's saying, "Oh, get rid of pimples forever," or "This is for dark spot," or worse, "This is for melanin rich skin." So you're like, "Oh, they're targeting me. I am someone with melanin rich skin," and it says oat milk and honey cream cleanser. What could be wrong with this? This thing is trash. Like, it's trash. I tried it again. It's trash. If you have dry skin, don't. It's $1.25. Yes, it's super budget friendly, but it's trash. And then likewise, I've used $40 cleanser and it was trash as well. So just having, it's not about the money all the time, but I would say if you're buying trash, you're wasting your money. That is what it is. And if you're struggling with hyperpigmentation, you really want to be looking at tested ingredients that work. Now, I know people are going to jump in the comments and say, "Well, I have never had to use anything. And my skin is flawless." I am saying that you are one of the few, and I wish I had your skin. It's genetics. Sometimes it's really genetics. Look at your mom, look at your grandmother, look at your great grandmother. And if they're not someone that really suffered with acne and breakouts and dark spots and stuff like that, even if they're a person of color, genetics, that helps too. But we all have gone through a period in time when we suffer from these things and we want a quick fix. And there are fixes. I'm just saying that you need to know and really dig into the ingredients of what you're putting on your skin. And just because it has a high price tag or a low price tag, that is not the end all be all on whether or not the results you're going to get are going to be equally perfect. Now, for people of color, and I'm really talking about people of color with the hyperpigmentation, because our Caucasian and folks on the low Fitzgerald, they don't have to worry because their melanin, the melanin that's created is so low, it doesn't get to rise to the top and come out on their skin like ours. So that's why I'm saying people of color, because hyperpigmentation is something. Now, if you can afford it, then obviously go to a dermatologist and see, like, hey, is there something that you can give me? But even when you go to a dermatologist, be educated there. Either have them educate you or you do some research on your own, because not all dermatologists are going to sit with you and talk to you about your your problems and problems that affect your culture, your race, and stuff like that. I've been to about 3 dermatologists over the past for skin issues, and not one of them give me the education that I ended up having to learn on my own. And so for that, I say, be educated, don't go in blind without having your questions and testing them and their knowledge, so that when you walk out of there, you are a better consumer for the things that you're going to put on your face. Okay. When it comes to hyperpigmentation, you want to be looking for things that are called tyrosinase inhibitors. And so there's a list, and I'm going to make another video on this, going through the full list and how these things work. But they're basically inhibits, which means to stop the production sometimes or the expelling of melanin on the skin. I'm not going to go into that any more deeper, but that's what you're looking for. So when there are products that call for help with discoloration, hyperpigmentation, dark spots, those are the words that you'll see on the packaging. If they don't have any of those tyrosinase inhibitors in there, I am going to tell you it will not work for that. And turmeric is not a tyrosinase inhibitor. Okay? So some good tyrosinase inhibitors out there are alpha arbutin, really good one. Tranexamic acid. If you can get a product that has the both in them, even better, because the problem with hyperpigmentation is not one, like it almost requires a bunch of these different ingredients working at the same time to calm down our melanin sites, our melanocytes, so that it doesn't produce that the hyperpigmentation or the melanin. So it can, if somebody says, well, I'm only using alpha arbutin, that's great. But if you can have it in other products with different tyrosinase inhibitors, you are on the right track. If you're just using it, marketing has got me a few times. Yeah, the marketing, it's just scary because off track a second, but going back to that comment, the marketing is scary because for most regulating bodies of skincare, the rule just allows that if there's a drop of the ingredient in there, they can put it on their marketing packaging. So for example, this says for melanin rich skin, and what they have in here is they have the mandelic acid. However, the mandelic acid is the last ingredient. And mandelic acid is a good acid to be working on your honestly, I was just like, what in the world? This thing was not good. Okay, someone was calling and I lost audio, so I think I'm back now. I was saying that the mandelic acid in here is the last ingredient in this. Is it going to be enough to do anything? Absolutely not. It is like almost putting a drop and saying, well, we got it in there, but mandelic acid is really, really good for someone struggling with hyperpigmentation. Having that in your routine, it's a good thing. However, in here, it's not. It's just not. Marketing. I mean, even the color of the tube, look at the tube. It's marketed for hello. So while I am all about marketing and making sure that you're talking to the right people when you market, I mean, also be truthful in the marketing, right? Also be truthful. So alpha arbutin. So if you're making a list right now of things, when you're searching for products that have good tyrosinase inhibitors, you want to be looking for alpha arbutin, niacinamide. Niacinamide comes in so many things, so just having that in there, amazing. I should have wrote my list down too. Tranexamic acid, really good. Kojic acid, really good. Licorice root, all these things really does help with hyperpigmentation, but more importantly, it has been researched to show that. It has been, there's medical research that's backing it up that shows when they've used it in people of color that they have substantial reduction in hyperpigmentation when these things are being used. Turmeric, the jury is still out. The research is not there. And don't fall for the DIYs and the natural, this is natural. Everything water. I always say that people like who are like, oh, I only use natural skincare. Tell me what that means. Because poison ivy is a natural. That thing grows out of the earth as it is. You don't see me trying to get poison ivy on my face, right? So don't fall for all those marketing tricks when it comes to these things. Really do an extra 10 seconds of research, and all you need to put in is this a tyrosinase inhibitor, or will this help in the prevention of the creation of melanin, which is what's happening when we have dark spots. It's just through that area of irritation, the melanin comes out and it's like, I'm here, guys. What's going on? Where the party at? But just try to do that research a little bit so that you're not wasting your money. Okay, some other really good vitamin C. That's a really good one. If you have dark spots or you suffer from hyperpigmentation, go through, a good vitamin C. The problem with vitamin C, if you watch my videos from before, knowing how to pick the right vitamin C is another battle, but vitamin C has been known to help with that. Retinol is a really good one. I haven't gone through, I want to do a series on retinol by itself because it's such a big topic, but retinol, tretinoin, I use tretinoin, which is Retin A, but this is a prescription. You have to have a prescription for this one, but really good. This one helps with acne, and it does help also with hyperpigmentation. So you're getting a twofer in that, trying to assist in preventing whatever is causing the irritation, which is the acne and the breakouts, and then also it helps with keeping the melanin production low. Okay. Maria, yes, the tretinoin, you definitely need a prescription here in the United States to get it, but it is really, it's a game changer. I know I'm leaving out some other stuff, but in general, I would say hydrated skin. If your skin is hydrated, that really, really helps with hyperpigmentation, because once the skin is hydrated, that means, and the skin barrier is intact, it is harder for the skin to get irritated. When the skin gets irritated, that's how the hyperpigmentation is caused. So that helps a lot. Sunscreen. I will end with sunscreen. Sunscreen. Sometimes not wearing the sunscreen actually is making the dark spots darker and takes longer for them to disappear. So if you're not doing anything else, please, I am imploring you that you need to get up on a sunscreen. No excuses, no about price, no excuses about, oh, I can't do it. If you struggle with hyperpigmentation, you have to do that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's no, oh, well, you can try. Just wear the sunscreen. That's it. Or wear the dark spots. Pick one, boo. Pick a struggle. Pick a struggle is what I say. Either you want to deal with having to remember this, or you want to deal with every morning you look and you're not feeling confident because of the dark spots. But pick a struggle. Sunscreen. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Until next time, as I say, you'll thank me later. Have a good day.